Well, it's pretty obvious why you're here. You're curious about the 7 steps that I mentioned to pass your AWS Certified Cloud Practitioner exam. But let's back up a minute. Before we jump into that, let's decide whether or not the AWS Certified Cloud Practitioner certification is right for you. The good news is, if you do not have any technical experience whatsoever, AWS Cloud Practitioner is going to be for you. This certification doesn't require any technical experience whatsoever or any AWS cloud knowledge at all. It's you starting from scratch, learning the cloud. So this certification is for anyone. Now let's say you do have technical experience, but it's just not in cloud, and you're just now trying to make the transition over from like data center and that type of stuff, or help desk or desktop support or these types of jobs. The AWS Cloud Practitioner is going to be great for you as well, because it's going to teach you the fundamentals of AWS. Today is just going to be a little bit more of a laid back video going through the 7 steps, and I'm going to put all the links of things I'm talking about down in the description below. Before we get started here, if you haven't already, don't listen, just go ahead and subscribe to the channel right now. I have tons of videos on the channel, all kinds of cool stuff planned for you in the future. I focus on AWS, cloud, and tech content that helps you navigate tech, learn more about AWS, and understand technology. Now, the first thing you want to do, you want to schedule your AWS Certified Cloud Practitioner test. Now, I know some of you may be saying to yourself, wait a minute, like, I don't even know anything about AWS Cloud, and you're telling me go ahead and schedule my AWS Cloud Practitioner test? Yes, you want to schedule the test because it creates somewhat of a sense of urgency. And with that sense of urgency, it's going to hold you accountable because you've scheduled the test and you've already set aside that 100 USD that you need to pay for the exam. All you need to do is log into the AWS Training and Certification site. If you don't have an account, you'll create an account. You select the AWS Certified Cloud Practitioner. You select the date, the time, and the location where you want to take your exam. And that's pretty much it. Then you get your confirmation email, which you'll need to save. That'll have all the details about the testing facility and all the requirements and things about what you need to be prepared for when you arrive to take your exam on the date you selected. Step 2 is getting to know the exam. So I'm going to read for you here. The AWS Certified Cloud Practitioner is intended for individuals who can effectively demonstrate an overall knowledge of the AWS Cloud independent of a specific job role. So to say another way, just like I told you, regardless of your role, tech background or no tech background, the Certified Cloud Practitioner is for you. On that exam, you're going to need to be able to explain the value of AWS Cloud, understand and explain the AWS Shared Responsibility Model, understand security best practices, understand AWS Cloud cost, economics and billing practices, describe and position the core AWS services, including compute, network, and database, as well as storage. And then you need to be able to identify AWS services in their common use cases. So that's the certification as a high level. Let me just talk to you a little bit about like the number of questions that are going to be on the exam. So there's going to be 65 questions. 15 of those questions will be experimental questions. So they're not going to count for against your score. And the other thing you need to be aware of based on the scope of this video is there are 4 domains within the exam. Cloud concepts, which accounts for 26% of the exam. Domain 2, security and compliance, which accounts for 25% of the exam. So the first 2 domains is pretty much 50% of the exam. Domain 3, technology, accounts for 1/3 of the exam at 33%. And then finally, you have domain 4, billing and pricing, which accounts for 16% of what they could potentially ask for that respective domain. Now, step 3 is to actually take training. There are tons of different trainings out there for Certified Cloud Practitioner. Some of them cost money. I'm going to tell you about 2 that are absolutely free. The first is AWS Cloud Practitioner Essentials. This is a video on-demand based tutorial. The videos last, I think it's between 5 to 6 hours. It's going to give you pretty much everything you need. It covers all the exam objectives for the Certified Cloud Practitioner. There's another Cloud Practitioner training. It's called AWS Cloud Quest for Certified Cloud Practitioner. Now, the difference with this particular training is it is a gamified version of the certification training. So instead of you just watching videos with an instructor taking you through a PowerPoint and telling you XYZ, this is what this does and this is how this works, that Cloud Quest for Cloud Practitioner is actually a game. So in order to be able to complete the game, you have to do hands-on labs and this type of stuff. And there are little PDF files that you read to brush up on the skills that you need to be able to get through the game, which in turn is going to give you the skills you need to hopefully pass your exam. Now, after you've taken those 2 training classes, you can either take 1 or 2 of them. And if you're starting out from scratch, why not just do both of them? You need to be able to prepare for the actual exam, which is going to be questions. So I'm going to share with you 3 resources that are going to allow you to practice those questions. So the first one is the AWS Certified Cloud Practitioner official question sets. These are sample questions to help you learn about the style and format of the test. And you can refer to these as you study to help check your knowledge. This is available with a free account on the AWS Skill Builder site. If you haven't checked out AWS Skill Builder is a great site, has tons of free training on there, and that you should take a look at. That'll help you not only for your cloud practitioner, but future AWS certifications as you grow. The second resource for exam preparation is the AWS Certified Cloud Practitioner Exam Prep course. This is also a free course. It's about 3 hours long. That'll take you through from start to finish the exam prep in terms of, so it's a little different than just a training. This is specifically to gauge whether or not you're ready to take the exam, and then if not, you know the areas that you need to go back on and focus on. Now, the third resource I'm going to recommend, this is really cool because it is a AWS official practice exam. It's 90 minutes long. So this is when you're getting really close to the end, a little bit before that exam day, 30 days. Maybe you're around, 25th or 26th day in or whatnot. You're going to want to do that official practice exam. This will test your readiness, again, of the exam style. It's a pass or fail scoring, just like the real exam, and you'll get feedback on your answers. This is important, with the recommended resources to help you deepen your understanding of key topics. Now, this one here isn't free, but it is available if you subscribe to AWS Skill Builder. So as a part of that monthly subscription, you would have access to this full-length practice exam. And come on, this could be the difference between you passing or not. Step 5 is preparing for exam day. Now, recently I did a completely entire video about how to prepare for your AWS exams, regardless of whatever the exams are. So I'm not gonna get super detailed into that right now, but what I will do at the end of this video, I'm gonna put up the video at the very end on the end card that you can take a look at that video to tell you some of the mistakes not to make. But what I want to really focus on in this video is really to make sure you review the AWS certification exam policies, as well as the test day guidelines. There's certain things you need to follow. You just can't go in there with a smartwatch on, or a hidden camera, or your iPhone, or these types of things and not think you're going to have an issue. So definitely make yourself aware of those AWS certification exam policies and those test guidelines. And at the end of this video, make sure you check out that video about how not to make mistakes in your preparation leading up to your AWS exam day. Step 6 is pretty easy. That's actually take the exam. The exam is the exam lasts up to 90 minutes, depending on how long it takes for you to complete it. You'll find out your pass or fail results immediately, and you'll receive your official test scores within 5 business days. If you are unfortunate, you can retake that exam after 14 days. And the last and final step after you've passed your exam is to share your exam results with the world. Y'all might have heard me say this before, but if a tree falls in the forest and no one's around, doesn't make a sound? The answer is always no. Not only do you want to pass your exam, if only you know about it, what good is that going to do you? So get out there on social media and spread the knowledge with the world. I'm going to include a link in the description of this video that'll tell you how to do that. And that's it. That's the end of the video. Hope you enjoyed it. Good luck on your exam. Hope these 7 steps were helpful for you. Let me know down in the comments if this was helpful, and also comment whether or not you passed your exam. And before you go, make sure you check out these 2 videos here.